You know, Alex didn't have to dress up, but he did. Thank you, Joey Vitale, for not dressing up.
I told Alex either dress up or don't dress at all.
All right, welcome back to the Rizz Show. We have Alex Ferrario and Joey Vitale in the studio. Gentlemen, welcome. How are you guys?
Thank you.
Joe, that's the first time I think we've had applause on anything we step into.
Definitely.
This
is the coolest room I've ever been in this building, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, much different than the Bernie vibe.
Oh, yeah, this is way different.
Yeah, they have no mannequins in Speedos.
Yeah, well, listen,
this is cool.
We're
It's
loose here, just a bunch of dudes just talking about stuff,
man.
right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You want some beers?
Bro,
I can wear my hair like this.
Yeah, bro.
No one's going to say anything. I feel like it's 2001.
Why don't you
back
punch
at Family
Moon? That's
Values.
cool,
yeah,
too.
I'll take it like a man.
Although, we do have cameras in the studio, so, a lot of people are watching this. So I would
shoot.
put that back on.
Oh, really? With that hair? Come on.
Oh, see?
Yes.
That's from 2 years of working in the booth with Chris Kerber. You got to learn to just feed it real quick.
I'm sensitive now. Yeah, I'm very sensitive.
I think both of us are.
I'm quick. I attack.
Well, tonight, myself, Alex, and Joey will be in the booth for the Blues alumni game.
Gong show.
Actually, it's the NHL. I keep calling it the Blues alumni
Blues,
game.
yes.
It's the NHL alumni game over at the Centene Center.
I love that it's just real quickly put in there, gong show.
It's going to be a gonger tonight.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what's funny when they were talking about doing this, they were like, "Well, we'll just do a broadcast, but we want it to be fun." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I can tell you right now who we need to be a part of it. You make Vitale and Rizz in the booth," and then I said, "Let's put people on the sideline." So there's less play-by-play and more shenanigans.
Yeah. Well, and Jeff Burton's going to be working the benches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
I thought it was going to be the locker rooms.
You drilled those holes for nothing.
He is going to be working the benches. That's for sure.
My goggles.
I didn't know they were calling them benches now.
He'll work his way into the locker room.
You just throw it to me. I'll have some material for you. Don't you worry.
You and the very professional Michelle Smallman
Yes.
will be doing the on the bench stuff. But you got 3 Italians in the booth together.
So we ain't getting a word in. No.
We're just going to be eating spaghetti. Is what's going to happen.
There'll be 3 Italians with 6 different opinions. For sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bread in this.
A lot of good bread.
This is my first time kind of doing this type of event.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of nervous to be around you guys.
Are you going to study? You're going to study the players?
What am I going to study?
Well, Alex got a nice spreadsheet for us. Didn't you get the email? Did you not check your emails? You know
I
this
just
works?
got it.
Okay, he pretty much broke down every player, where they played.
I think you put their blood type on there.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case you need that, because if blood spills, Cam Jansen's playing, blood will spill.
Yeah.
I
know.
was actually with Cam and Paul Bissonnette last night at dinner. They said they may tangle in the game today. There may be a fight.
Who are you with?
Paul Bissonnette. Cam
That's
Jansen.
a name.
Let me just go ahead and grab that.
think
I also had a Q&A with Wayne Gretzky yesterday.
That's a name.
I know that guy.
Heard of him?
Jeez. Might as well change your name to Darren Pang.
Jeez.
just looking at your cheat sheet that you sent me. I don't just read this.
don't care.
This is I'm
He
going to
said,
look at this.
Did you say who's reading this?
No, I said I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this. I'm going to study this.
What's Bob Basson's blood
I've always
type?
wanted to know all about Rick Zombo.
There you go.
So now I know he was drafted.
From where?
Is it Desplaines?
There you go.
Did I say that right? Not Desplaines?
Des Plaines. Well, that's how you just...
Did you know, just off the top of my head, I remember that Andy McDonald was traded for, I think it was Doug Waite. Just off the top of my head.
And did you know won a Stanley Cup with the Ducks back in 07?
Look at this. See, you guys are just going to be...
You didn't even need to send him a cheat sheet.
That's
This
true.
is all just off the top of their heads.
He's not even looking at it. He's actually looking at Google. He's
Why don't you
fine.
tell me a little about Doug Waite?
Oh, Doug Waite? Sure. Let me just scroll to that part of my memory. I think he was drafted second round of the 90 NHL draft? I believe the Rangers out of New York.
Definitely New York.
He led Edmonton to 5 straight playoff appearances.
I remember
it was
you
like
saying
104 points in the 95-96 season. Good player.
Did he win a Stanley Cup?
06 with Carolina.
You know what's
You were
fantastic
just
about all
talking
of
about
this?
that the other day. You
Yeah,
were
I
just
was,
talking
yeah.
about
I
that.
knew this was happening, so I just put all of the false information on every player. So this is just going to be a fantastic broadcast.
Says here Jim Campbell was born a woman.
Oh, that was supposed to be on Jamie Rivers' name. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
So the
Sorry.
broadcast tonight starts at 6?
Yeah, so a pregame kind of pregame show. Joe and I do a hockey show every week, This Week in Hockey. So that's the pregame lead up to it to 7 o'clock with the puck drop. So yeah, 6 to 7, a little bit of a pregame show. And then 7 o'clock is supposed to be the start of the broadcast, but they got a bunch of ceremonies. So the puck drops at 7:15. And From that point, we're getting all of the breaks out of the way early, so I figure we have 25 straight minutes of just hockey talk with all of us.
Just shenanigans.
Yeah.
You'll
that'll be
fit
on,
right in.
And that'll be on our sister station 101 ESPN Radio.
Correct.
Dude, I'm telling you, got to find my places with you guys.
Yeah.
I got to find my place to jump in with the comedy. I'm not talking X's and O's.
We don't need to.
No, there's
I
no
know
X's and
why
O's
I'm there.
tonight.
I know why I'm there. Not for hockey knowledge.
I already know the answer to this.
I told him
already
he'd bring
know the
spaghetti.
answer to this. But if there is an opportunity that presents itself, will you have a little liquid calm down just to get yourself a little loose?
Also, I have a question. Are you going to drink beforehand?
Liquid calm down.
Yeah.
Heroin?
No.
Like, are you going to have a
Are you
drink
gonna
to
have a
settle
drink?
your nerves?
Will there be drinks available?
Of course.
I mean, it's Vitale, Rizz, and Ferrario. Yeah, we're it's going to
At
have
least it's going to be
drinks
some
available.
red wine, right?
Yeah.
Vodka's the same color as water.
When we talked, Rizz, you said you needed a buffet up top. So
yeah,
it'll be
Crafts,
behind
we'll get
us.
to that. What's the snack situation going to be?
Yeah, I mean,
We'll get to that.
What kind of spread are we looking at? Because I went to go visit you guys, was it last Saturday, up in the booth at Enterprise Center, and, I mean, there was nothing.
No?
oh, they didn't bring you the peanuts and pretzels?
Yeah, I had to go get them.
pretzels.
Oh, okay. Sorry about
I had
that.
to
You
go
wanted
get
them to detube them for you? Just
No, I thought they'd be in the booth.
We're
Quite disappointed.
literally sitting there. We are on the air talking with you, Alex. Curbs comes back in from the hallway, and Rizz, you were in the middle of saying something, and Rizz goes, "Hey, I thought there'd be snacks up here."
I thought that'd be something. At least potato chips. Like, let me take
Are you
the
sure you don't want
yellow
me in the
bag of
booth?
Lay's. Just something.
You sure you don't want me in the booth instead?
Well, there are two periods, so we might, flip flop a little bit once we get into the broadcast. Well, I mean, we told our booth assistant Abby to make sure that she poured the Pepsi on ice for you. She did do that.
She did. She
okay,
did great.
Good.
She did great.
Did she mix it around, though, so it got cold?
So I said I want some peanuts, and I didn't specify what type. Was it? Was it regular dry roasted, or we're gonna have the honey roasted? And I found out that night I'm really not a honey roasted.
Okay, let me write that
But tell them
We'll
what
let
else we
Abigail
found
know.
out. Tell them our trick.
Like if you have a pretzel with a honey roasted peanut,
Like a hard pretzel, like a rolled gold twist.
Right.
And you take that pretzel, you put it in your mouth, you take 4 or 5 just regular roasted peanuts, you throw that in your mouth and you chew, it tastes exactly like a soft baked pretzel.
It does.
Like an Annie Ann.
No
magic.
way.
It's magic.
I got to try this.
Don't you dare doubt me, Vitale.
No
Don't
way.
you dare.
Hey,
No
no way,
way.
Magic.
No way, deal.
Okay, so I'll send the text to make sure that they take the dry roasted peanuts off of the buffet.
No,
I like
no.
the dry roasted.
He likes
He wants
honey
he does
roasted.
get rid of the honey. Okay, geez, I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear about this tomorrow.
My gosh.
Did you know that Jamal Maris was drafted in the 4th round of the '93 draft? Did you know that?
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
4th round. Yeah.
So hey, go through some of the roster. Who's playing tonight?
Well, we got a couple of Joe Vitale's former teammates, right? Paul
We got
Bissonnette.
Paul Bissonnette. You know him as Biz Nasty. Cam Jansen.
Great follow on Twitter,
Yes,
by the
he
way.
is.
He's
Paul
great.
Bissonnette.
Oh, he's terrific. Cam Jansen. Again, I heard they may tango tonight.
Which would be a fantastic.
They may go center stage and drop the mitts. Cam would always he could never beat Biz either. And he's got the size advantage a little bit with the muscles. You ever seen Cam? He's like a big meat.
Yeah.
But Paul's got these long monkey arms, are like 18 feet long each side. It kind of reminds me, who's the Mortal Kombat? The guy, remember, with the long limbs,
Yeah.
would just shoot out at you. That's Paul. So
It was Long Limb Larry.
long limb Larry. That sounds right.
Yes.
Chris Butler, Chris Thorburns going to be here tonight.
Yeah, Chris Thorburn.
There's a lot of man meat. There's going to be some
lot of
man
man
rock.
meat.
Ooh, hey, somebody on Twitter brings up a really, really good point. We need to give you a phrase that pays for tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. yes.
we
Let's
need to
develop
give
that
you a
right now.
phrase that
Well,
pays.
I can't tell these guys then.
Okay.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Like
We'll figure it out off
they'll
the
give
air.
me something to say, and I'm gonna have to slip it into the broadcast somewhere.
Easy.
This is what we'll do. We'll figure it out off the air, and then when people listen tonight, as soon as Rizz says it, start tweeting us.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
see if you can catch the phrase that pays.
It's going to be something
Give
like,
me a good one too.
like jumping Jehoshaphat or something.
Well, we had Barrett Jackman in last week, and I guess him and his friend. I guess Barrett was making the media rounds, and his friends had given him a phrase that pays, saying on all these shows. And what was it? Was it
Something about Barnes or the barnyard?
Barnyard was the one
He
he
had
was
such a
supposed to
good
say
time
here.
here. Forgot to say it.
That's right.
Let's say it.
Yeah, we
Didn't say
shut
it.
down his game.
Dude, I
with
feel like
fun.
I do that every game with Curbs. I don't even know I'm doing it.
Maybe we
shut
should
down?
start giving
Oh.
you words that pay in the broadcast with Curbs.
Maybe I should start getting paid something too.
Well, that was negotiated in the contract when you started off. That's never going to
I'm
happen
tired of
now.
doing things for free.
Oh, so I'm looking on the NHL alumni side. Our buddy Mike McKenna's going to be there tonight.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Big rock guy.
Yeah,
Huge
yeah.
music nut.
Not just rock guy, like metal guy.
I mean, that's a little hardcore. Like, I was into Korn, don't get me wrong. Like, I went to Family Values in 2001. I was a big Corn Nut, skater dude, Tony Hawk
Corn Nut.
skateboard, everything Corn Nut.
Corn nuts are delicious. Ranch
Is
ones are
Jonathan
real
Dave,
good.
is he still alive? Is
Yeah,
he-
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Oh,
coming
yeah,
to
they're-
town. I
they're-
think
they're doing
Korn
great.
still together?
Oh man,
Are they
they're
coming to
shredding.
town?
Yeah, they just did another record.
they
They're
were
working on
awesome,
some
man.
music.
No, but in the same respect, these guys who were big Korn fans when they were younger say this a lot. Like, you listen to the songs now that you thought were so badass from Korn back in the day, and you just go, that was
It's a
silly.
little
Some of it is a
It's
bit
a little silly.
Like Shoots and Ladders. That
Yeah,
was
it's a little silly.
Yeah.
I love
Shoots and
that
Ladders.
song.
It's a little silly, but we still
It
appreciate
gets you there, but
Yeah,
it's,
Mike McKenna though is into some really heavy
Yeah.
stuff.
That's heavy. It's a little heavy for me.
So it'd be good to see him tonight. It's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah, it is. And, they got big names playing, too. I mean, Guy Carbonneau, who was just nominated in the Hockey Hall of Fame, he's going to be playing on the alumni side. You got Doug Waite, Andy McDonald, as Jeff already went through all those stats. Jeff Courtnall, Garth Butcher. So you're going to have some pretty big names playing as well. So it's going to be a really fun,
Red
fun evening.
Berenson.
Yeah.
He's like 100 years old.
Yeah,
He's still
Jansen
playing
was told
hockey.
he's not allowed to touch him on the ice.
Jansen, honestly, they have Jansen just so we know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So somebody has tabs on.
But Joey, you can tell the story. Jansen is a freak when it comes to playing pickup games.
Oh, he has one speed. Like, they're nervous tonight. Like, Bruce Affleck had to have a conversation with Cam about staying away from Red Berenson because he could actually kill him. In pickup games, I'll never forget, we do these Tuesday morning skates at 6 a.m. Guys show up with their suits on hangers because you got to go to work after this. People have jobs. This is how the real world is. And it's 6:30 in the morning. We're at Webster. It's freezing cold, middle of winter, and Cam is just running around hitting people. He got cut above the eye, and he's like threatening to go with someone at center ice. And I'm looking around. I'm like, we are like fathers. We have full-time jobs. Like, we can't keep doing this. I mean.
I'm imagining Cam Jansen's suit has no sleeves.
Yeah, it's Macho Man.
Like, he's got like a suit hung up with a tie and everything and just no sleeves.
His suits actually have a tie down in the back. Right?
Girdle
He's got a tie
style.
down in his back.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Well, and you got some legends there, maybe not skating, but they'll be in the building tonight. Like,
Wayne Gretzky is dropping the puck, I believe.
whoa.
Talked to him
Hall.
yesterday. Did I mention that
Yeah,
yet?
no big deal.
I didn't know
That's
that.
a name.
Cool, man.
Well, actually, you didn't talk to him a couple of times, right?
Oh, yeah. I actually denied his call 2 days ago. I didn't know it was him. He was calling me.
Is there somebody else named Gretzky?
So I get a text from his cell phone from California. Hey, Joe, Wayne Gretzky, give me a buzz. I said, no chance. Send it to him. That phone call comes in about 5 minutes later. Distant number from California. Ignore. I ignored him twice. And then Darren Pang's like, hey, Gretzky's trying to get a hold of you.
No.
I'm like, no.
Did you legit text Wayne Gretzky no chance?
No chance. I said, no chance.
Because you just didn't know the number at all.
And then I saw it coming in. I said, deny. I didn't know who it was.
oh my gosh.
And then I
Hey, this is Wayne
apologized.
Gretzky. Give me a call. Yeah, okay. and I'm
okay,
Barry
bud.
Bonds.
Well, you would think maybe somebody give you a heads up, like, hey, Wayne's going to text you, so look out for it.
But now I have his number, and I don't care if I'm like making love with my wife. If he calls me, I will stop immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And I will answer that call.
Jeff, how much would you pay him to get that number?
$13.
Stop it. It's
You
going
talking about his
yeah.
wife's number or Gretzky's number?
I'll give my wife's for free. That's easy.
It's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Pre-game at
Brett
6
Hall, Curtis Joseph, Chris Pronger, Al McKenna, all of these names are going to be there as well. Not playing, but they're going to be around at the arena.
Plager be there?
Plager will be there. Bernie Federko, Keith Kachuk.
From what I'm hearing, Brett Hall's going to sing Gloria
Oh, boy.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
I think I got your number, Gloria.
Is that still happening?
Funny every time.
Gets me every freaking time.
25 years from now, I'm still going to die at that every time. Oh my gosh.
I wonder if he knows we play that.
He's got to.
Definitely.
Somebody has told him.
Oh,
Somebody has told him. I know he talks to Jamie Rivers like all the time. So I know for a
For
fact
sure.
that Rivers has at
Yeah.
least said to him
He's
once
gotten
like,
400 spins just from the show alone.
He's getting more spins than Dish Wall on
It's
this
on
station.
media base. Like,
That was
he's
the only
getting-
time I ever felt bad for Chris Kerber when they told him you have got to get him off the stage. And I see Kerb's face, and he was like, "You can't be serious right now." I felt genuinely bad for him.
Brett Hall is everybody's uncle.
Yeah.
He is
Oh, yeah.
everybody's uncle.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You can't take Uncle Brett off the stage.
I told the story on the air, and I don't know if you guys have heard it, but so I was DJing and when that was all happening,
Yeah.
and after Curbs got Brett and brought him off the stage, a member of management went to a police officer that was right by the stage and said, hey, let's keep Brett down here with the party. Let's not bring him back on stage. And Brett tried to get back on stage, and the police officer told him no. And I went up and I looked at the police officer and I said, how was that? And he goes, well, I just told my childhood hero that he was not allowed at the biggest party of his entire life. I was like, oh,
You know what's amazing about the whole party? Any other party, there were other moments that would have been the most talked about, but Brett Hall outdid that. I mean, Pat Maroon's I'm a Hometown Hero. Anywhere else, that's played nonstop like Brett Hall's song is. And also, the one that never gets talked about, Larry Robinson just flipping the bird on stage to basically the Boston Bruins fans.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, that's the one that nobody even talks about, but I still, to this day, remember that moment.
Legend.
Yeah, a legendary moment.
Yeah. That was a whole that was a magical time.
Yeah. How everyone survived, I will never. I remember I asked Doug Armstrong about it. He goes, I don't know how everyone's going to stay alive, but that's my main goal. I mean, Ivan Barbashev fell off a fire truck in the middle of the street, like on his back. We're talking like 2 stories off a big fire truck. Pops up, he's okay.
Was it
Because
Zach
he's a hockey
Sanford?
player.
Zach Sanford
threw up on
Oh,
something.
yeah. He threw up all over his lap.
Nearly puked on me. I was walking up to him to do an interview, and they're like, go talk to him, go talk to him. As I'm approaching the vehicle, all over his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Nearly, I'm like, I'm out.
He was nervous about doing an interview.
I guess,
with you.
rightfully so.
I said, here comes Ferrario.
Get him away. Now you know how to keep me away. Just vomit, and I'll run the other way.
Hey, do you guys know if I know there's a whole mascot competition to surround the All-Star game? Will Gritty be involved? Do you hear the controversy?
I heard he's got a suspension. He punched a kid.
No, he's going to jail.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Flyers got a lot of attention a couple years ago when they introduced their new mascot, this Gritty guy, who's basically a child nightmare.
Right.
That's what he looks like. A big, furry, orange creature who went viral for being nightmare fuel. But according
Nightmare fuel.
Nightmare fuel.
But according to the Philadelphia PD, Gritty is now under investigation for assault.
Yeah.
Seriously. Back in November, he was doing a photo shoot with fans, and one 13-year-old kid hit Gritty in the head after the photo, and the kid's dad said that he, quote, playfully patted Gritty. But apparently that infuriated him, and then Gritty punched the kid in the back.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, if the Pope can do it.
Nice.
Gritty ain't going to take it.
No.
Gritty's had it up to here.
2 years of this.
So you buying it?
That's what I said
you
last
buying
night.
This is a guy, like, just knowing a couple guys that are professional mascots. Like, this isn't some job that they just give away to somebody who's like, oh, I want to be a mascot. This is like a dude that's been doing this for colleges, high schools. I mean, for a long, long time. You think this guy, out of nowhere, during a paid photo shoot, is going to pop this kid enough to upset anybody?
Well, I think
The Pope slaps somebody's arm.
I honestly
That's the
think
Pope.
And you've seen Gritty and what he does. He goes in the stands. He finds random people that are, like if the Blues were in Philly, they go to a Blues fan, take his hat and throw it a few rows back. Like that's kind of his thing. I think he did something like that. And the person on the other end, in this case, the kid, wasn't aware that was going to happen and may have taken it a little too far. Yeah. But I think it was all a thing. Like that was Gritty. Like, the kid slaps his butt. I'm going to slap your butt. Boom.
Yeah, part of the
he
shtick.
Maybe a little hard.
And the story goes on, too, talking about how, they just wanted some type of fan, they wanted signatures from players and to go in the locker room afterwards. So as I was reading it, I was kind of on Moon's side, like, okay, is this kind of a thing to pump up the Philadelphia Flyer mascot? Is this something to try and get him going? But especially when they talked about him just throwing a vicious punch at a kid's back.
This guy said that, quote, he lunged towards my son from about 8 to 10 feet away and punched him in the back. Flyers go on to say they investigated and they can find no evidence.
Here's what I say.
Yeah, get the f*** out of here.
Get out of here.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often.
You've seen the
mascots,
picture,
they
right?
take abuse.
They show the picture, and he's like sitting down like this and just looking like, like you said, nightmare fuel, and they're all smiling. You're going to tell me this guy got up in his costume and ran after this kid 10 foot? No,
There are no witnesses.
I don't buy it.
There are no witnesses. I guess that the police have dropped it. I don't know, but no, actually, the police are still investigating. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm reading here.
Dad says that he took his son to the chiropractor to get work
Oh,
done.
jeez.
A week later.
Get the out of here.
What I'm saying is if you're a 13-year-old and that thing comes running at me to punch me in the back, it's not hitting me. I'm running faster so it can't catch me. Especially those googly eyes.
He was, listen to this, he was diagnosed with, quote, contusion to lower thoracic spine and subluxation. Get the out of But it says also known as a Bruce.
Bruce. It's a Bruce.
Kid's obviously not a hockey player.
Maybe this guy was looking for season tickets.
I'm not sure. And if he was a victim of something, this ultimately sucks because we're all going, I don't buy it. But like as far as just adding the math up, just does not make sense.
Maybe they're part of like a takedown gritty kind of thing. Like
See, I'm watching a gritty. I'm watching a gritty video right now, and he's honestly laying on top of people in the stands, and like they're trying to push him off, and he is like full body weight laying, kicking his legs, and people are like dodging it. Like so, like I think that's his thing. Like, this
Punching
kid.
kids.
And didn't they? No. They said that the kid slapped him on the butt, right? The kid slapped him on the head.
Slapped him in the head
3 times.
So he goes, oh, you're gonna slap me? I'm gonna slap you, and maybe it was just a little too hard.
Quote, dozens of witnesses there, and nobody can say, I saw it happen.
We should get a mascot going called Punchy that just punches kids.
It's in his name.
No, it's Lil Punchy. Lil Punchy.
Tackling fuel.
That just a mascot that just goes and punches kids.
We'll put googly eyes on it, and it'll scare the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, he's going to get replaced by Tackling.
I saw the mascots are rolling through, and every mascot has a verified Twitter account. And I saw mascots are rolling through, and they are giving former Rams fans or just the city of St. Louis a bunch of crap.
Oh,
all of them are taking a picture of the dome and goes, "What's this big ass building for?" Like they're all like
The LA Kings mascot put that out.
Yeah.
And you remember a couple years ago when the LA Kings were playing the Blues, they beat them twice. I think it was the second time that they beat them, and then they tweeted out afterwards saying that's 2-0 that were up on the Blues, also on the city of St. Louis. And then they do that.
Oops.
See, I like that though. I mean, I think that's a fun, playful use.
I think it's funny,
social
too.
media.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
and
Well,
joining people
it's
into.
part of the All-Star weekend is the mascots have a big competition. It's skating and they do a whole bunch of activities.
Is that downtown or is that at
I think that's wonderful.
It's downtown.
downtown?
I really do. And when Gritty came out, I think it's one of the greatest moves in sports history is that mascot and that unveiling and him and his attitude, especially for Philly.
I was going to say,
Got people
City.
talking about the Flyers, which is great.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrico's going to finish up sports here if you guys don't mind.
Fine.
Joey Vitale's here. Alex Ferrario's here. My broadcast partners for tonight's NHL Alumni Extravaganza over at Centene Center.
You need to spend the rest of the day telling everybody that they're doing the game with you.
He will.
They have the honor of doing the game with me.
Right, yes. Reworking their resumes now.
Pre-game at 6 o'clock. The game starts at 7 over on our sister station, 101 ESPN Radio. Patrico, sports.
Sports brought to you by our friends at West County Auto Body, the best auto body repair facility in the country. And all the celebration of Larry Walker making it into the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday. I completely forgot to even mention this. The Cardinals are one less player that was on their NLCS roster from last year. Marcell Ozuna has agreed to a one-year deal with the Atlanta Braves. He signed a one-year, $18 million deal with the Braves. And John Mozeliak from the Cardinals said that even though they tried to get creative in signing Ozuna, there just wasn't enough wiggle room on the payroll to keep him.
I heard it was close though. I mean, ridiculously close to that
I heard
number,
that too.
which is absurd.
That was a rumor I heard too, but who knows?
So it sounds like
Hey,
he
who was
wanted
the
that.
guy that did not vote for Derek Jeter to get into the Hall of Fame? Honestly,
He's living in a doomsday shelter right now because if he comes out, it will just be all hell breaking loose for him.
But as a sports reporter, as a guy that does sports broadcasting, I think it was Brad Thompson the other day said this could be somebody that's just trying to get his name out there for an article, for a piece in the paper.
I want names.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's other options. It could be a guy who's a big Red Sox fan and doesn't want to vote for a Yankee.
Yeah.
It could be somebody who maybe was disrespected by Jeter personally and felt like he didn't.
Derek Jeter disrespected nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First of all,
And in
it,
fact,
it the
gave
guy
his
that he-
conquests gift baskets when they left his apartment.
Yeah.
it could be a legitimate purist.
That's a gentleman.
No, it could be a legitimate baseball purist, like Florentine was saying, that doesn't feel like his stats deserve the vote to be unanimous.
Yeah. That's it. I think somebody's out there that always just says, well, nobody deserves to be unanimous, so we're not going to vote for him, which
I
is
think
a joke.
Gritty should punch that guy
In the
Send
back.
Gritty in.
in the back.
Send in Gritty.
The New York Mets, Carlos Beltran was supposed to be their manager, and then they mutually agreed to part ways after the whole sign stealing scandal. They now have a new coach. Is it Luis Rojas?
I think it's Louis Rojas. Is it Louis
Rojas? Sounds like a hot pepper.
Rojas.
There it is.
Yeah, it's like a hot salsa. I've had that before.
He will be the next manager of the
right
New
through,
York
yeah.
Mets. All-Star Weekend keeps getting better and better for the Kachuk family because Austin Matthews out because of injury, and now it looks like they're going to award that spot to Senators forward Brady Kachuk. He will join his brother Matthew as an All-Star participant, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Don't forget the game on tonight, the alumni game, 101 ESPN with Joey, Alex, and Rizz. Zion.
Actually, my name should go first.
Yeah. Sounds better, Rizz.
Zion Williamson.
I think Joe sounds better first.
Don't even include my name. It's fine.
All right, you got
Joe
it.
and Rizz.
Honestly,
Jeff's gonna be doing it.
get to leave.
Yeah, please
okay?
stop
We
this.
have to stay here
Stop
with him.
this. We've tried for
Joe
a long
and Rizzo,
time.
The Jizzo, we'll call it.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Zion,
that works.
I don't
No,
like
wait,
that
it doesn't
at
work.
all.
Maybe
It's the first dump button of the night.
I
That's
don't
cool.
like that at all.
Not making shirts for that one.
Zion Williamson made his debut in the NBA last night. He scored 22, 17 of those points in the fourth quarter. They really already are chanting MVP, even though this was his first game. He only put up 22 points. In Hollywood, Florida, Antonio Brown, we talked about yesterday, his trainer got arrested for battery and burglary of a mover, like a moving truck driver. And now, AB, there is a warrant out for his arrest as well.
Things are going well.
They want
Things are
him.
going good. Life's
Things
good.
are not
World's
going
good out
good for
there.
him.
Do you think this has got to be a CTE thing? This has got to be like this guy's got probably a lot of brain damage.
Yeah.
Have you guys have you watched the Aaron Hernandez
Yes.
documentary yet on
Not yet.
Netflix?
I started it.
So it's phenomenal. I mean, a lot of it's out in the news, but I don't want to ruin all of it.
Don't spoil it for me.
Spoiler alert. No, but they claimed CTE on Aaron Hernandez, and I think in his case, some people just do bad things. I think it's a part of it. With Antonio Brown, to me, it just still feels like the dude's just trying to be in the public eye.
There's
You
no
think
way
so?
that
Yeah.
CTE plays a huge. I mean, everyone has CTE then.
Right.
I mean, but not everyone's killing people like Aaron Hernandez did, at least in my opinion.
Well, it
I didn't like the
manifests-
way they spun it at the end to kind of put a little bit of blame
Well,
on that.
it
I'm sure it had
manifests
some.
itself in
I'm sure it
different
has
ways,
some
though.
degree. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure personally there's something wrong, and then the CTE adds on to it. Maybe that's part of it with Antonio Brown, but in my eyes with him, he likes the drama. He's out of the NFL. He wants to be back in the NFL. So now he's
Who
just
wants this kind of publicity?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
to-
Nobody.
Or to tarnish your legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the dude was desired by many teams.
Mm-hmm.
He burned through and all that. Why would he do all this for attention when he didn't need it at
Right.
the time?
Why, Antonio? Why?
yeah.
So one more quick thing here. The Oakland Raiders, as of today, are now officially the Las Vegas Raiders. That happened
kidding.
today.
Now I have to change all the stationery.
Here's what's crazy is so in the agreement, there was a joint agreement between the Raiders and UNLV that UNLV was allowed to compete in 2 non-conference games at their new stadium. And the 2 games they picked was September 12th against Arizona State and September 5th against Louisiana Tech. So those games are on the schedule. Those are agreed upon. And now the Raiders go, nope, you can't play those. And they said, why? And they go, because you just can't. We want to do concerts there and other things. So no, you can't do that.
Ooh, so they're making a good impression with the.
Not so much.
I had a little CTE this morning, short temper. I always ask my wife for Honey Nut Cheerios. She got me Cheerios. I'm like, no!
Chucked the bowl
I
at the
said
wall.
Honey Nut!
Finally, the Farmers Insurance Open gets started today. Tiger Woods will be competing, looking for his 83rd win. Golfers set to tee off around 11 a.m. I'm Patrico. That's your sports, and boom goes the dynamite.
Joey, Alex, we'll see you tonight over at the Centene Center. Yeah, it's going to be a magical evening. I mean, NHL All-Stars and alumni and all these legends there. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for
gonna be great.
letting us pop in. It's fun.
The Rizz, Joe, and Alex. Well, the Joe, Alex, Rizz show tonight.
Rizz first.
Rizz does sound a little better, unfortunately.
Joe,
Sorry.
good luck tonight.
Just don't use the nickname, please. No more
Enjoy
nicknames.
yourself.
You guys, good luck tonight with this one.
Pre-game, 6 o'clock. Game begins at 7 o'clock, 101 ESPN Radio. Thank you, fellas. See you tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.